Okay class, in this lesson we will be doing graph of functions. To be more specific, this is chapter 7 of book 3, D3. So what we are going to do is we are going to do graph of functions, which is chapter number 7 of book 3. In graph of functions, first we need to understand the word function in itself. What is exactly a function? Now, this is very common to the functions we often attend to. For example, function of Mehndi. Now, whenever I say that bhai dost ki mehndi hai, we have to go there. So there is a very set defined rule. For example, that we will be what would be the dress code? We'll be wearing shalwar kameez, right? Then there will be bhangra. Then obviously there would be roti, and there would be like more of fun and blah bitty blah bitty blah. That's a well defined rule for the function of Mehndi. Something like that is what we do in graph of functions. Whenever we will be preparing the graph of any function, the function in itself will be well defined. Function will be well defined. Now, when we say that function will be well defined, we do know what will happen or what are the values. For example, in graph we have two variables. One is on the x-axis and the other one is the y-axis. So every time there would be one equation which will be known. For example, I am going to write few equations. For example, y equals to x cube. For example, y equals to 2x cube plus 3. It could be y equals to 4 over x, or it could be even y equals to 10 over x square. You see, it's either this or this. These equations are often referred to as functions of y with respect to x. The values, or what should we say, the equations are pretty concrete. You know that if I place the value of x, I'll get the value of y. If I had to make a graph of these, what would I do? For example, of this equation, I would simply make a table with the values of x and y. I'll take 2 to 3 values. Let's say I'll start from 0, 1, 2 and 3, and I am going to place this like this: y equals to 0 cube, and what do I get? 0. Y equals to 1 cube, and I'll get 1. 2 cube, and I'll get 8. 3 cube, and I'll get 27. This thing is known as function graph of functions. And very first question which will come in paper or in your exam will always be finding unknown. It will always be finding unknown. The equation will be given to you. What you all need to do is you just need to place the specific value of x in the any given equation, and you will get corresponding value of y. The next thing which we should know is the next thing which you should know is that is about graphs. Now, graphs in graph of functions generally come for 3 marks. Graphs in graph of functions generally come for 3 marks. The 3 marks are divided into further 3 categories. 1 mark is for range, the other one is for scale, and the other one is for freehand, or I'll write it like 1, 1 and 1. Now, what is range, what is scale, and what is freehand? For example, the examiner may say, draw the graph of on x-axis from -2 to till 2, or in other term, x is greater than or equals to -2 and x is lesser than or equals to 2. Now when you will be preparing graph like this, your values should be -1, -2, 0, 1 and 2. Your values should not increase or decrease from the range given in the question. In the very same way, examiner will give you the range for y-axis as well, or he may say that use the same range. But if he has given range for y-axis, for example, -15 y and 20. Now this means that y is greater than or equals to -15 and y is lesser than or equals to 20. On y-axis, I won't be increasing my values from 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, and over here it would be -5, -10 and -15. That's all. That's all, and I'll be getting 1 mark with respect to range. So never ever go for any extensive values like -20 or -3 or +3. Okay, if you write those, you won't be getting any marks, or you may even lose one because that wasn't in the requirement. The other thing is scale. Now you may have observed that I was writing 1 digit after 1 on x-axis, but on y-axis I was writing 5 digits every after 1 digit. Now why was that so? Now the examiner has given the scale. The scale is use 4 centimeter to represent 1 unit on x-axis. Now every after 4 centimeter I am going to write 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeter and then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeter and then 3. This thing is known as scale. And the last thing is freehand. About freehand, I must tell you that whenever you have plotted the graph, you should never ever use scale while joining it. You should always be using your freehand, like this, this. You should always use freehand.